Hello and welcome to Steve's Vintage Model Builds. Excuse me, got a little frog in my throat today. Long ways from Quebec, but they still make their way here. Anyways, yeah, hi. How is everybody today? Welcome. Welcome to all my subscribers. Getting up to 590, getting close to 590. And thanks for everyone who stops in, whether returning viewers or new viewers. Hope you enjoy what you see. Not the slickest, most professional presentations here, but I think you'll find things interesting and fun, if not good for a laugh at my poor presentation skills. Anyways, so I had an appointment today, and so I went to my appointment. I'm good about that. And it just so happened that where my appointment was right around the corner from the hobby shop. Yeah. And so I went there. Matt had some Tamiya flat aluminum XF16. He'd ordered some for me on back order, so that was in. And I picked up a few other things. And as always, I browsed around and actually sent our taxes in recently. And so there's going to be a nice little tax refund coming, which is always welcome. And Esther's getting a bigger one than I am, but I'm getting one too. So that's very nice. And although I always say, most of the time when you get a tax refund, it's because you've overpaid the government in the first place and they've had your money for however long. Excuse me. Anyways, I'm not going to get involved in the taxes and everything. Canada's headed to an election on April 28th. I expect most people will vote well before that. It's a time of turmoil in Canada for many reasons. I'm not going to get into that here. All we can hope for, but the only thing I'm going to say is that this particular election is crucial to the future of Canada. And the choices that were made in the last 10 years were not the right choices for Canada or Canadians. And Canadians need to realize that and vote accordingly. So anyways, yeah, so, off to the races, and we'll just see how it all turns out. And if we need to move to Japan, we will. That's all I'm going to say about it. Okay, so yeah, so I went to the hobby shop, and actually I picked up a couple things. I went in, I tried to be a good boy, you know how that is. Anyway, so I was on a chat for one of Peter Oxley's shows, March Matchbox Madness. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, check it out. That's Peter Oxley, Oxley. He's got a great channel, fabulous guy, beautiful wife, lots of friends. Everybody on the channel is great. And so anyway, so we were chatting away there, and one of the questions that comes up is, well, what are you working on? And so one of the guys asked me what I'm working on, and I told him the 15 things I'm currently working on. I didn't tell him about the other things that I'm not working on. But anyways, yeah, build, baby, build. According to the High Command, the Finance Directorate, if I build, I can get more. So, anyways, I've cheated a bit here because I haven't actually built. Well, I started to build quite a lot, but I haven't finished a lot. There's a lot that are real close, really close, and we'll be having a show on that within the next week or two. Other updates. Planted seedlings last week. The Asian long beans, otherwise known as asparagus beans, they've already sprouted and they're going gonzo, so I'm really pleased about that. And the other stuff, it's going to come along. So yeah, so pleased with that as far as it goes. Okay, so yeah, so Stuart and I were chatting while we were waiting for the show to come on, and he asked me what I was doing. I asked him what he was doing, and he was working on two tigers, a regular tiger and a king tiger, or tiger two, however you want to refer to it. And he was telling me they were at the paint stage, and he was doing that. Stuart's an excellent model maker. He doesn't show his stuff enough, as far as I'm concerned. But anyways, I have great respect for him. He's a wonderful guy, and he's a lot of fun. Great knowledge, and he provides a lot of kits to Peter to review. So he's a great friend of the channel there. So definitely, if you haven't checked out Peter Oxley yet, check out his channel. A lot of fun. And so, anyways, yeah. So the first one here, actually, before I get into this, not going to review this right now, but I picked this up too. This was new in the shop, and I've got a few of the AMT kits, both trucks and cars, and the snowplow idea caught my imagination. There you go. Okay, so now we have this, and this is the Academy 172 German King Tiger Henschel turret, and it's Academy catalog number 13423. This is a rebox of a Revell kit that was first tooled in 2002, so it's a little old, but not that old. And we've seen a few. I guess Revell's getting. I don't know. I don't want to say aggressive, but they're getting. They're diversifying their marketing. Put it that way. ICM has even reboxing kits of theirs, and so. And you know, Academy, they do a great job, and they've got like state-of-the-art machinery. So anyways, let's get rid of this cellophane, or the shrink wrap, sorry. Can you try to step into the 21st century, Steve? Nobody says cellophane anymore, even when it's cellophane. Yeah. It's like mucilage. You say cellophane, they say what? You say mucilage, they say what? Anyways. And then you say, a sphincter says what? And they say, what? Yeah. Okay, so there we go. That can go there. Okay, so we have some quite nice box art here. And before we get into the actual box, we'll talk a bit. Yeah. Now, you know, anybody who builds model kits, especially on the military side, they know about the Tiger tank. They know about the King Tiger. And so its official designation was the Panzerkampfwagen Tiger Aus B, otherwise known as the Tiger B. So Tiger 2 was kind of an informal name. And it was also informally known as the Königstiger, which is King Tiger. König is German for king. Even though Wikipedia says König is German for Bengal, it's not. It's German for king. So when you see a name of a place that has König in front of it, it has some association with former German royalty. And for example, a town called Königsberg literally means the King's Mountain. Or yeah, so yeah, okay, so there we go. So anyways, we all know, I'm not going to go into it, you know, it was a big heavy tank, 70 tons, that's metric tons, lots of armor, 88 millimeter gun, and but it didn't actually enter service until 1944. The development started in 1937 with a design contract that it was awarded to Henschel and Son. And Henschel and Son were a major industrial manufacturer akin to Hanamag. Henschel made everything from locomotives to trolley cars, trolley buses. They made aircraft frames. They were the first manufacturer of the Panzer tanks. So so they had a lot to do with German industry, and so as is often the case, even today, the design contracts were given both to Henschel and Porsche, and that's what brings us to the Henschel versus Porsche turret. I guess the easiest way to think about it is, okay, the Porsche design never made it into production. The way it went was the two companies were tasked to design a tank, and the Henschel was chosen. However, the contract for the turrets was given to Krupp. And Krupp was actually manufacturing both types of turrets, the Henschel and the Porsche, as it were. But then the Porsche body platform never went into production. So they just started putting the Porsche turrets on the Henschel platforms. Now, this is the Henschel, obviously. Duh. Set that aside for a moment. And so this is the Porsche version that never entered production. Now, and this is the Henschel version that did enter production. And this is the Henschel turret. And if you look at the two different designs, there are quite a few differences. The Porsche turret is curved on the sides here, and also has a different gun placement, and also it's slightly different at the front here. But the main difference is the turret. And this was the final. And so that's that. Now, Henschel's no longer around. They did survive the war, and actually, Henschel locomotives still work all around the world. There were Henschel locomotives in India, in Egypt, other parts of Africa, all over the place. And, they continued to make trolleys, trolley buses and so forth till about 1969. When they were actually, there were a number of mergers and buyouts and this and that. For a while it was, it became Krupp Henschel, and then it became Thiesen Henschel, and then it was taken over by they were taken over by Hanamag, or merged with Hanamag. Then Hanamag was taken over by Rheinmetall, and basically what Henschel does now is, although they still manufacture locomotives, it's not under the Henschel name, and I think most of their most of their brand dedication is towards axles, heavy duty axles. So I could be wrong with that. So it's a little bit confusing when you know they talk about the Porsche versus the Henschel, and but the main thing to remember is the Porsche never entered production. The only thing that made it into production was they plunked the Porsche turret on top of the Henschel platform body. So and the this one might be a little more aesthetic, but excuse me, it also would have meant a smaller space in there, significantly smaller. Let me see here. So there we go. Okay. And you know, regarding Revell, you know, and reboxes and so on and so forth, model companies have been doing that forever. And you know, sometimes the molds are sold outright. Other times they just enter into licensing agreements, and you know, so you know, there's all sorts of different reasons. You know, you do whatever you need to do, and you know, I used to be down on Revell quite a bit, and for very good reasons, especially during the Revell of Germany years. Um, um, but they're doing a very good job turning things around, and you know, Airfix fell behind a little bit, although they do seem to be doing a better job now. They seem to lose their stride a bit, but they're getting it back. Not criticizing Airfix, I'm just stating a fact of business. And Revell really has, they've made great strides in updating their instructions, the quality of their molds, all sorts of stuff. You know, in the past I wouldn't have gone near a Revell kit, and now I have quite a few of them, and most of them build up quite nicely. And so, there you go. Okay, so yeah, so we've got the, here we go, and we have nice box art here, and let's just say, now this is interesting. On the box here, you can see here, this says Ace Corporation. So I'll have to look that up, figure that out. Anyway, so here we go. We got nice box art. It's not signed, and then we got 3 paint schemes, and I think there's 2 decal schemes, and nothing special on the sides, nothing on the bottom. I didn't even have a Sherman tank in the stash until I got that Calliope from UM. Yeah, UM Calliope. And to be honest with you, I stopped buying the German World War II stuff last year. I'm going to build the stuff that I've got, but for the most part, I'm not going to buy anything more. And I've got lots of light armor. The Panzerspa-Wagens and a couple of others. Quite a few. I've got quite a few of the kits. So, but just for my own personal reasons, whatever. Anyways, so yeah. So with Academy, we get the usual. Check all the parts, and I've never had an instance where there were any parts missing or any problems. And then they give you their equivalent of the tech tips that you get from Tamiya. And here you also get the warnings. Don't cut yourself with the knife. Don't inhale the glue. Don't burn yourself with the soldering iron. Whatever, yeah. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. I like to go through the instructions last. Some people do them first. So yeah, the only German tanks I have are the 176 Panther, the Airfix Vintage Classic, not a very nice kit, and the Tamiya Panzer I, nice kit, and the Stug, the Tamiya Stug, both in 135, and both, as you'd expect, very nice kits. Okay, so we get a decal sheet here. When they say 2 decal schemes, I guess you get 2 tank numbers. Not like they were adorned with a lot of stuff. And there's some other little doodad thingies in here. You see this? These are just some kind of white lines. I'm not sure. Looks like almost like a radiator grill. And then we got some German crosses and just a couple other little insignia. Nothing fancy. Oh, excuse me. $20 Canadian plus Trudeau Carney tax. I'm gonna go back to this. Lighting department again. Sorry about that. Somebody at the door. Another package arrived from Amazon. You'll be seeing that over the next day or two. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably show it off when I do the snowplow video. Okay, so as we often get with Academy, we have a single heat-sealed plastic bag. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to go into a lot of details on the Tiger 2 or the Tiger B or the King Tiger, whatever you want to call it. Everybody's pretty familiar with it. And if you're not, well, you can go look it up. They entered service late in the war, and while they had a devastating punch as far as their armament was concerned and great defense, they were mechanically very difficult, as was the Tiger, and so and of course by that point in the war they weren't able to manufacture them in any great quantities. So okay, so here we go. We have this lovely Africa core brown. But no, I mean it's a good color for a base color. And we've got machine gun here. We've got all these different cables. There is no flash whatsoever here. All the contact points are in decent places. Even this here, you know, the gun, the gun lock or whatever you call it, like it's very delicate, and there's no flash whatsoever. So very nice. And then we have the Henschel turret. Here it is. And we get some nice detail here on whatever this is. Again, I'm not seeing any flash whatsoever. Contact points are all in sensible places. And Zenvi has the wheels, lots of wheels, as you'd expect. There's some nice detail here. You can make out where all the rivets are. 2 sets, concentrically aligned. Talk about that in a moment. And then we've got the tub. There's some detail on the bottom here, access panels, so forth. Likewise on the back. Back here, there's some nice detail there. And dual exhaust, little shovel. Looks like maybe a jack. There's the barrel for the gun. That's nice. It's in its own little cage, sprue cage there. And then we've got pieces for the tracks. More pieces for the tracks. I haven't really dealt with these kind of tracks before. I'm not sure if I'm going to be excited to. Yeah. The individual track pieces that came with what was it? I can't remember the kit now, but they were like each piece was individual. You had to link it together, and but these look, you know, okay, whatever. Yeah, I guess she insists. But it's a $20 172 kit, so there you go. Okay, all right, and so that's that. Oh yeah. Nice top opening box. A lot of people seem to think that's important. So I love Academy. They you know, some of their older kits are kind of dogs, but the newer stuff they're putting out is just fabulous. And you know, what's not to like about Korea, or South Korea, anyways. You know, there's only a couple things here to kind of whinge about. The first thing is, and I wish they'd do this, there's other manufacturers guilty of it too, is they don't tell you anything about the subject anywhere. Yeah. So, and also, they always put here, you can download latest version of the instruction manual for this model by visiting blah, blah, blah. Except they're not there. I've tried for almost every model kit, and they're not there. So, okay, so yeah, so we get the legend here, what everything means, and then we get they're good at this. They the various paint codes. They give you Humbrol, enamel, acrylic. GSI Creos, Mr. Color, others, Monomaster, Revell, Vallejo, AK. They don't give Tamiya, but well, Tamiya is kind of their direct competitor, although not in 172. Okay, so here we go, and so now we have a manual. Okay, so we'll start with this. Okay, so yeah, do the wheels 10 times, 8 times, 2 times, 2 times, and this is how they go onto the tub. The suspension and axles are already there. We continue on. DDDD. Obviously, these are tracks that are not going to whatever. So I guess it doesn't really matter if this is glued or not. It shows you how those pieces go together. Not sure I'm liking that, but whatever. It's not a huge kit, so it's not like it's 500 pieces and 250 of them are tracks. So there we go. Okay, and oh, well, this is interesting. Aha, I saw that. So these are separate pieces, and then these get cemented on to the tub. Haven't seen that before, but I guess if it works out, it works out. And then basically you just and then you've got the back end here, covers for the mufflers, exhaust, little extra doodads where all the cables and tools go. I guess these are meant to be vents. And then we've got the, well, that's a different way of doing it. Yeah, so that goes in there, and then the actual barrel of the gun goes on there. You've got the option open or closed. Extra spare track links on the side here. Putting together the, oh, it's a 4-piece assembly. That's interesting. Haven't seen that before. And then we've got the German light machine gun. Again, open or closed option. And actually putting the turret on to the body. And no color here. We've got Ardennes 1944-45 winter camouflage. These would have been the ones that were involved in the Battle of the Bulge. And then we've also got 1945 Berlin sector. Obviously, you know, when they were on the brink of collapse. Yeah, so this is kind of weird. So we've got, this says winter camouflage, but this is winter camouflage. And I don't know. Anyways, so. Okay, and then as always with Academy, you get a full sprue map. Sprue tree map. And back in the box we go. Get the Misterons out of there. There we go. Okay, so time to rate the kit. I use a 12-point system, 10 standard points, up to 2 points for the packaging, up to 2 points for the sprues, up to 3 points for the parts, and up to 3 points for the instructions, for a total of 10 standard points. Each of those categories can get a quarter-point bonus for any wow factors. And I also allow up to a full bonus point for what I call value, which is, you know, how much enjoyment do I expect to get out of the kit compared to its price. So here we go. So as far as the packaging is concerned, it was perfect. It was all shrink wrapped. The box is in perfect condition. Beautiful box art. So that's a full 2 points plus a quarter point. And for the sprues, everything was complete. There was no flash. You know, the locator pins were all in sensible places, and you know, obviously well engineered. So that's another 2 1/4 because they're perfect. The parts themselves, quality of plastic was good. Detail was okay. I mean, you know, it's a Tiger tank. It's not a lot, you know, it doesn't have a lot of detail. There weren't any warped or broken parts. The decals were basic, but they, you know, they didn't have a lot of markings on them. So there you go. So that's 3 points. No bonus there. And for the instructions, no service or history notes. So I got to ding them a quarter point for that. But otherwise, everything was clear. They were laid out nicely. They weren't like super small. Some of the old Academy kits, yeah, the diagrams are pretty tiny, even for a fella who has pretty good eyesight like myself. And at $20, I'm going to give it a half a point bonus to bring us up to a total of 10.75 out of 12, which is very respectable. So again, you know, for 20 bucks, you could easily get, you know, 4 or 5 hours out of this. If you really wanted to go gonzo on it, I suppose you could do it in a couple of hours and then paint it up. But if you want to take your time on it and enjoy yourself while you're doing it, great. So, oh, and I should say on the box here, this is copyright 2023 Academy. So, you know, very recent reboxing and molding, new molding. Yeah, current molding. Anyways. Okay, yeah, so 10.75, and which is, yeah, I mean, very respectable. And they say 14 plus, but, you know, with supervision, I think probably somebody, you know, a 10-year-old could probably get started on it with some help. And if somebody's been modeling since they were 8 years old or something, I'm sure they could do it on their own. So there you go. That's it. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate everybody's time. And there's a lot of tumult going on in the world right now. Seems to be everywhere. And so, you know, our hobby is a good place to take some shelter. And you can go do stuff. You don't have to think about all the things going on out there in the big bad world. So thanks again. I appreciate everybody. And we'll be seeing you next time for the next video on the snowplow. Bye now.